Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash JustNoMil. In today's episode, my MIL is never going to stop relying on my so. She can't be that oblivious, right? Future MIL kicking her son out for wanting to go to university. JustNoMil making my pregnancy hell. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My MIL is never going to stop relying on my so. So and I are expecting and have recently moved out of state to live with my parents for support and stability. I am due in October and he recently got a well-paying job out here. The only issue is his needy mom. She hasn't worked a real job in over a year, she only does delivery driving on all those apps and hasn't made a car payment since November, so her car is due to be repoed. She is currently sleeping on her sister's couch with my teen siblings and has been for about 3/4 months now. I even had tried to help her get a job at my old workplace, but she never followed through. The kids also were not in school for a whole year, but my told me the younger sibling started 8th grade a few weeks ago. Anyways, I'm pregnant with her first grandchild and of course, we want to make sure they get to meet her. Before we left, my SO was telling her she had a few months to save up for the trip and they could stay at my parents'. The other day, she told him plane tickets would be $1,400 for everybody. Like okay. And now my wants to pay for their tickets. We have to get the car inspected this week, and pay for birth next month, and I am just tired of it. I also suspect they may try to move out here to lean on him since he has a good job now. I don't mind him helping somewhat with flight costs, but my family is already providing shelter and will most likely provide food. The least she could have done is save up for tickets. It's like just a never-ending money pit as she continues to demonstrate a lack of self-sufficiency. My is well aware that I will not be getting a house/apartment with his mom and siblings as it is different than us living with mine. He just keeps mentioning perks of living in this state and I think he wants them to live out here. But with what money? Edit/update, just wanted to say, I'm seeing a lot of get therapy posts. We plan on it. I'm on my own insurance and his insurance won't kick in until October, so we are waiting for then. So and his side are very sentimental/family oriented, but I agree that there are more important things to worry about. I can't come on too harshly as him moving this far was a big transition for him, but I think as the date is getting closer, the reality of the situation is setting in. OP, I understand that MIL may want to visit to see new baby, but I wonder about using limited resources toward long-term life improvements. For example, if MIL needs a car to get a job so she can work and support her children, wouldn't the $1,400 be better used to delay repo until she can get a job? The minute MIL and kids flew out to meet baby, if I were her sister I would have all their stuff boxed and sitting on the front porch. There is no way I would let that leach back into my house. Send them pictures, do the video calls, send her $1,000 and say, Merry Christmas. Just do not let her and her children set foot in your state. You will never get rid of them. We thought you were saving up for this. We have a lot of expenses with the birth and can't afford to fly you out here. This, and only this. So, you want our family, me, you and the baby, to go without, to pay for plane tickets that your mother has put zero effort into saving for? Is that what you're saying? Why is it our job to cover for her bad decisions? Lay it out, flat. His mother needs to step up and take responsibility for herself. She has children depending on her. She's absolutely going to do everything she can to foist her responsibility onto your so. It's on him to say no. It is ludicrous for you and DH to spend $1,400, plus who knows how much more, for his mother and siblings to fly out to see your new baby. They can wait 6 months, if not longer. I never had children, but there has to be many things that are more important for you to have for the baby and yourselves than financing a trip for someone who, apparently, just doesn't want to work full time. His mom losing her house. It's really sad for the siblings. This situation isn't their fault. I have zero sympathy for MIL herself. Has there been any discussion of the siblings going to live with aunts/uncles/grandparents while MIL putters away in a homeless shelter? Do you have your own bank accounts? I would not want my salary to be going to subsidize MIL. I think so needs a good talking to in to help him get his priorities straight. The family money goes to your current family and not his extended family. If this doesn't change, how do you see things down the road? Will your kids suffer because you are having to support MIL? Please get in with a counselor ASAP. You have a baby on the way and you need to know if he is in it for you and the little family you both are building, or if he wants to pack all his loved ones into a 2-bedroom flat forever. And you need to take care of yourself. Baby is dependent on that. She quite possibly will not stop relying on him. That's not your problem though. Your problem is him wanting to bail her out. He needs to get through his head that his priorities have changed. Top priority are the two of you and the baby. You are living with your parents for support and stability, and that means you don't have that kind of money to throw away on plane tickets. I'm sorry they can't come visit right away, but that does not make it your DH's problem to solve. Right. He kinda realized this but has some kind of guilt. He once took out a loan to fly everybody out of state for a funeral. I think they've developed this dynamic. No. I certainly don't mean to criticize you, but it sounds like you guys are not financially stable enough to take care of yourselves right now. You absolutely shouldn't be trying to support his family. Good luck on baby. Please stick to your guns on this. No, she should not come to visit with the siblings. Did so get permission from your parents before offering their home? They are doing their share, having you and so live there. They should not be responsible for hosting the rest of his family too. And he should not be expecting such. CPS does not reveal names, so report her ASAP. CPS will step in and give them some help. They will offer suggestions and try everything they can to get the family on their feet again. Do not encourage her to move near you or you will be supporting them forever. Is this what you want? Get some counseling for the two of you and let so read the opinions written here. He needs to decide who is most important in his life. Right now he is an enabler and that is not helpful at all. Good luck. I wish the two of you nothing but happiness. She can't be that oblivious, right? My boyfriend and I have been together just under 2 years. We officially moved in together last July when my lease expired. He owns our home, but it's in need of a lot of work. We're slowly renovating it together. With this in mind, we separated my things as we packed them at my apartment. Things I use day to day were separated from things that could remain packed until we completed certain projects. Things I may need were more accessible than, say, decorative things that definitely won't be used anytime soon. It was organized in a way where I knew where everything was, and the way I wanted it. Boyfriend and I occasionally go out of town together for his work. His mom has cared for his animals during these trips since long before I came along. I appreciated that she was willing to care for my 2 little dogs, too. Boyfriend and I returned home from an overnight stay. I went upstairs and found that my boxes had been moved, and some had been emptied. The contents of other boxes had been transferred to boxes she brought into our home for some reason. I was totally shocked and immediately angry. When I entered our bedroom, I saw a plastic bag sitting on my side of the bed, with 41 pairs scrawled on the outside of it. Upon opening it, I found, apparently 41 pairs, of my underwear inside. What the hell? I feel like this needs a little explanation. I grew up somewhat neglected. I never had enough underwear, or clothes in general, to get through a week. As an adult, I admittedly overcompensate for that experience by buying lots of underwear. Additionally, I'd recently lost a good amount of weight, so the underwear she counted were my fat underwear, which I wasn't ready to let go of, just yet. While inspecting my previously organized boxes, I saw that she had been through boxes with letters, medications, toiletries, everything. Then I got to my furniture. She scratched up the faces of both of my dressers while moving them, one of which had never even been used. It was stored in a closet in my apartment. So not only did she completely violate my privacy, but she damaged my property while doing it. I'd met her only a few times at this point, and I already felt very guarded around her due to the information she had overshared with me about other people in her life. I immediately talked to boyfriend about it. It took a while, but he finally admitted that what his mother had done was not cool. I told him I was willing to talk to her about it, but seeing how angry I was, he chose to do it himself in order to preserve my relationship with his mother. I stressed that my goal was to ensure that it never happened again. He spoke with her, and told me that she understood. Well, folks, it happened again. The first clue was the rearranged kitchen. Upstairs, I found she'd rearranged more of my boxes. I was seething. Boyfriend got an earful. Again, he insisted on speaking to her himself. He told me he asked her not to help because we can't find things. Later that day, I saw that she had dismantled my nail kit and shoved a dirty broom head into a box of my perfumes, and it pushed me over the edge. I sent her the following text message. You said if anything ever bothered me, I should say so. I have to tell you, I was shocked to see that you had rearranged my personal things, again. I have private things that weren't hidden because I didn't expect anyone to unpack and repack my belongings. I'm furious having to search for my own things. I am asking that you do not share information that you may have learned while going through my private things, related to my medical condition, quantity of my underwear, etc., and that you please not ever do that again. I feel so violated. Her response to that was to show up at the house with a dollar store balloon, upon which she had written, "I'm sorry." During her verbal apology, she told me she was just bored. She didn't know much about my condition, she just noticed the puke bags I keep around the house. That led to her telling me about boyfriend's brother's ex, and all the times she had to rush her to the hospital, sometimes due to her drinking. That is none of my business. In that moment, I was done. I smiled and nodded my way through the interaction, but it became crystal clear that this woman has no sense when it comes to boundaries and privacy. When she left, I told boyfriend that he is not to share anything about my life with her. I will tolerate her during visits and holidays, but that's it. I know that anything she learns about me will very likely be broadcasted to anyone she come across, and I value my privacy far more than I value a relationship with her. As far as I'm concerned, she's just a nosy old lady. Other things to note. She shares details about boyfriend's ex-wife's life with me almost every time I see her. They had no kids together. I don't care that she maintains a relationship with the woman who cheated on her son, I just don't care to hear about it, and I don't want her telling the ex about my life either. Boyfriend's dad also has some contact with the ex, but has never mentioned her to me. She openly compares me to boyfriend's most recent ex and asks me if I plan to do this or that the way his ex did. She has read notes I left for boyfriend while in our office. She is a legit hoarder, city got involved more than once, and often brings over sh*t from the thrift stores, which sometimes is carrying roaches. Somehow, having a hoarder help me organize just adds insult to injury. She keeps asking me to spend time with her, and I want nothing to do with it. How do I handle this? Am I wrong? You have a significant other problem that must be dealt with swiftly. If he cannot deal with his mother, then he is not ready for a serious relationship. Honestly, I would never let her into my house again. To the point that if I was in your place and BF refused to not let her in, I would move out. If he can't respect your space enough to keep his mother from invading it, then you have more than just a FMIL problem, you have a major SO problem. I wish you luck in sorting this out, and I hope you find everything you're still looking for. Oh, you're not wrong. Find another house/pet sitter and put a key locking handle on any room you don't want her in when she visits. Tell her why the doors are locked if she asks. Carrot this right here. Key lock on your bedroom/storage rooms. Anytime she brings up the ex, say, I prefer not to discuss the woman who cheated on my boyfriend. Anytime she overshares anything, reply, that person's private life/medical info/etc. is none of my business and I will not be part of gossiping about them. Then get up and walk away. She will only do what you allow. Obviously, your BF hasn't addressed these issues strongly enough, so you need to be the one with the backbone. If it causes issues between him and mommy, you can let him know you have him 2 chances to fix it already. You and BF need to change the locks and make arrangements for another pet sitter. Also, tell her that, while she's certainly entitled to having a friendly relationship with whomever she chooses, you do not wish to discuss his ex. Shut her down every time she brings it up. This might be unpopular but realistic. Your boyfriend needs to acknowledge your issues with his mother and not just respect your boundaries but help enforce them. Any of his issues with her, especially with her communication with the ex-wife, how is that okay, will be addressed when he's ready. How do you handle her going through your things? Whatever you decide, your boyfriend needs to respect and follow through on enforcing them. In my house, we have a locking armoire that we use for things when snooping people come over. It might be a good idea to invest in locking up things if she's coming over to look after the animals. For the stuff you aren't using day to day, until she gets the hint, it might be smart to look into a storage unit, either a pod or a traditional storage facility. This isn't something people like to think about when it's there so that they live with, but if you contribute financially to the home that your boyfriend is the sole property owner of / have lived there long enough to establish residency, congratulations. You have tenant rights. Your boyfriend's mother is not your family by marriage, yet, and does not have any legal or arguable right to go through your property. Remember that if you have tenant rights, your tangible property rights are protected by the law. You are entitled to all the underwear you could ever want and you don't need to justify it to anyone ever. Change the locks and hire another pet sitter. My in-laws couldn't help themselves either. Just always nosy and going through our shit. Always repairing something in our house while we were away. Now we hire a pet sitter. We don't even tell his family if, and when we are leaving town. It's just simply none of their business. Get a lock for the bedroom door and make sure it's locked with all your things inside when she comes over. If she mentions the door being locked, call her out. Why were you trying to get into our bedroom again? We locked it because you violated my privacy more than once and my personal belongings are nothing to do with you. Also consider boarding the pets from now on. She shouldn't have a key if she can't be trusted not to snoop. Actions need consequences for JNs to learn. Yup. At the very least a lock on the bedroom door, if not new locks on the house. Board the pets in future or get a trusted pet sitter to come in. She has no rights to your safe space. None. Boyfriend either gets it or he doesn't. You don't want this to be your life, do you? He's got some big boy decisions to make. Unless he wants to carry on growing his tally of nasty exes, as I'm sure you'd be made out to be for the next girlfriend. You're not wrong, you're being violated. Yeah, really. If he doesn't do anything other than shut down his mom's creepy as fuck behavior and make it so this never happens again, I wouldn't move in with the dude. 'Cause this will never get better and you'll forever be at odds. And they won't be in your favor. Future MIL kicking her son out for wanting to go to university. Hi, I've been with my partner a little over 4 years and his mum has always been insufferable, but she's reached a new point. My partner was gonna be moving soon with me, only an hour away from our hometown, so he can start university and make a better life for himself. He has a dead-end job and hates it. However, his mum has told him to get out the house today, all because he wants to go to uni, and it's so infuriating. He's so upset, which is upsetting me, and I don't know what to do. Help. Just forget about MIL and focus on supporting your partner. Right now he needs you to just be there. He needs to look up the state laws for tenants. He is a tenant. It doesn't matter if he pays rent or not. She has to give him proper notice to vacate. Don't be surprised when she tries to sabotage his education. Ask me how I know. There will be all sorts of emergencies only he can attend to. She'll need his money, time, energy, all things he'll need for school. She'll put him down and try to emotionally destroy him. Help him stand firm against her and keep boundaries. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the little money he is making isn't going to her as well, and she's upset she doesn't get any of it anymore. Good riddance to her, and hope he can grow and thrive in a new environment. Does he have somewhere to stay until the move? I know it hurts right now, but the best thing he can do is to go on and create a satisfying life without her. It will get better. As more time passes without her interference, he'll begin to see. After getting settled, he might want to look into therapy. Sounds like being raised by her will have probably left some wounds that need healing. As long as he has somewhere to stay, give him a shoulder to lean on. The beginning of grieving the parent you always thought you had is hard, but extremely important. It's called emotion incest. There's not much to do. She's kicking him out, so he needs to find a place to stay. Other than that, he continues to focus on his school and whatever work he has at the moment just to pay the bills. This isn't going to be fun for him for a few years, but most people are broke and too busy during college, so he'll fit right in just fine. Words fail. Any decent human being would be delighted if someone wanted to better themselves. This X1000 if it was their son or daughter. All you can do is support him in any and every way you can. Build him up. He will have the last laugh when he's got a successful career and a loving, supportive spouse. Good luck to both of you. Yeah, but that's assuming she is a decent human being. Personally, I've been begging my child to go to school. She graduated from high school 3 years ago. She has been helping me out at home. I became disabled after her graduation and she's been a huge help. I discovered that I am unable to live alone. I'm not, but I was by myself for one night and it was disheartening. But again, I'm petty and evil, and I admit to it. JustNoMil making my pregnancy hell. Background info: I, 21F, have been married to DH, 25M, since spring 2021, and am currently 37.5 weeks pregnant with our first child, a little girl. JustNoMil lives in Hawaii and has since she made husband move there with her to be with her boyfriend, and then subsequently made DH homeless, when he was 16. BIL was over 18 at the time and chose to stay in MI, where we live. DH moved back here in 2019 shortly before we met. He was essentially homeless his entire 6 years in Hawaii due to MIL's BF not wanting him to live with them. DH is not only named after his father, who passed away when he was 3, but is also the spitting image of him. This has led to a lot of red flags in the way MIL treats him, like her boyfriend, and it's something he is coming to terms with and learning to set boundaries about. Now on to the situation. when we told MIL about the pregnancy, she immediately became overbearing, expecting me to text her with updates every single day. She posted on Facebook announcing our pregnancy before I wanted to. She also made a big deal about how she missed out on the births of BIL's 4 kids due to being back in Hawaii, so she expected to be involved with everything for our LO, especially if I'm not reaching out to my JN mom to reconnect like she's been pushing for since I went NC with my mother after the wedding and things she pulled during. I tried to tell her I planned for my grandma and sister to be involved in most of those things, and hoped that would be that. She insisted she wanted to plan our baby shower, which I was initially fine with as long as she included SIL or my sister so they could rein her in. After not hearing a peep about planning and it getting to late June, due mid-September, DH and I decided to start at least picking up some decorations. When she called a week later and DH told her this, it turned into us being stuck planning the entire event, which we wanted initially but we lost months of planning time due to her insistence at throwing it. $400 and a whole lot of stress later, we sent out invites on Facebook 2 weeks before the shower date, which was over the weekend. After missing her flight from Hawaii to Michigan a week before the shower, she went to Florida to get her car, which was supposed to be getting fixed by her ex-husband for the past 6 months. None of the work is done, and she let us know in a post in the baby shower group how upset she was that she couldn't come, blaming it on our lack of planning and nothing to do with her not getting any of this work done on her car, and being dramatic about learning baby's name from the event group, while spelling it wrong. She hadn't called within reasonable hours since early July, and we chose name after that. DH and I are to the point where we pretend I'm not around when she calls as she tries to push me to bend to her opinions, and even though DH has explained she won't be allowed in the delivery room, just the waiting room, she was ranting about all the ways she'll get here ASAP when I go into labor to be in the room on our most recent call. I feel lost at this point. She acts as if I don't have any say just because I'm NC with my mother. I feel like she's going to post about me going into labor or LO when we aren't ready yet again. This is petty and I almost left it out, but DH and I both agreed we want a variety of clothes and stuff for LO, not just an entire wardrobe of pink and frilly, but more colors and a preference for yellow. Direct quote from Mil, I know you said you don't want a bunch of pink and foofy and frilly, but that's what I bought. A whole suitcase stuffed full. Other gems include, when I had my boys people thought breastfeeding was creepy, and, I know you want to breastfeed but I bought cans of different formulas just in case. She posted on Facebook announcing our pregnancy before I wanted to. Nice of her to show you that she can't be trusted with your news so she doesn't get to hear any until you and DH are ready to share with everyone. She also made a big deal about how she missed out on the births of BIL's 4 kids due to being back in Hawaii, so she expected to be involved with everything for our LO. You and your DH are not responsible for BIL's actions and you have no obligation to include her in anything, let alone something so intimately personal as birth. She can want to be involved in everything, you do not have to include her in a single thing and certainly not more than you are comfortable with. She had her chance with your DH and half-arsed it. She doesn't get to take over your time as a new mother. DH has explained she won't be allowed in the delivery room, just the waiting room. Do not allow this. Stress can affect labor and your child. Do not tell her when you are in labor or give her updates until the baby is here and you have recovered a bit. I know you said you don't want a bunch of pink and foofy and frilly, but that's what I bought. A whole suitcase stuffed full. She can waste her money on whatever she likes, your child does not have to wear any of it. Thank her for the gift, and when you and DH are alone you pick out the things you both like and donate/sell/whatever the rest. I know you want to breastfeed but I bought cans of different formulas just in case. Again, she can spend her money on whatever she wants, you do not have to accept or use what she buys. You and DH need to step up and shut her down every single time. It seems she has got her way by bulldozing over everyone. Learn to be an immovable object in the face of her unstoppable force. I was alive 25 years ago. People did not think breastfeeding was creepy then. She sounds like one of those MILs who tries to discourage BF because she can't do it and is eaten up with jealousy. I kind of had the feeling this was the case. Don't tell her you're in labor and honestly hold off as long as possible. Make sure you have this conversation with your husband. Also, put it in writing for the hospital, that she is not allowed in the delivery room. Be very emphatic about it. This woman shouldn't be anywhere near you during your labor, delivery, or postpartum period. Yeah, she should not be told when you go into labor. She should not be told anything. You need to get your husband to shut this down fast. I'm in awe that you haven't snapped at her yet. The first time overstepping, I would have told her, I won't be taking parenting advice from someone that allowed her child to be homeless because her BF didn't like him, although, I guess it's one of those things that can be used for many different things in the future. I'm shocked your DH even has this much contact with her. He somehow doesn't see what she did to him as messed up at all because she gave him care packages. Like, babe, you slept with a machete in your car to protect you from meth heads. She sounds awful. I'm so sorry. She just sounds so awful that I don't even know what to say. It sounds like she thinks she's being helpful, but there's an undercurrent of complete selfishness that lets you know she's not really trying to help you, just get her way. That's exactly what I've tried to explain to DH and didn't have the right words. Thank you. Yes, the same selfishness that made your DH homeless as a teen. Trust me, from someone who has your MIL, she won't get better. Trust who she is and do not feel bad about preventing her from ruining your precious first mom moments. Which she absolutely will if you don't hold firm boundaries. I had to allow almost 20 years before my DH came out of the fog like your BL. She managed to put a bad mark on every special family moment until we finally cut her off. You do realize that she has less than zero authority over you. Stop giving her information. Stop listening to her, or listen, then go do what you want. Donate anything you don't want. She wouldn't even know I was in labor until I had been home with my newborn for 3 days. You don't want your delivery being about her. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.